Hi there, today I wanted to show you how to make pizza. Homemade pizza, the best. Anyway, it's very easy. So the only thing really you need is to prep is the dough. And I usually make enough for 3 pizzas or 4 pizzas. And the rest I either put in the fridge for a few days or put it in the freezer. Works great. All you have to make sure that you thaw it slowly. So just move it to the fridge and let it slowly come to non-freezing state. So the ingredients we'll need is 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast, about 2 teaspoons of honey, and 1 1/4 cups of water, and lukewarm, like about 105 degrees. That's the ideal temperature for the yeast. And 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So let's start with the water. I'm gonna get some warm water here. Now we want it to be between 100 and 110 degrees. The only way to really know, is to actually check. So I'm gonna put this in. It's 97. I would say that's fine. Okay. So the next step is to grab the flour and just put a little bit here in the, and then put let's do 2 teaspoons here. 1. 2. Now the reason I'm not putting the yeast straight with the flour and all that stuff is we want to proof it. We want to make sure that the yeast is alive, and we're gonna be okay, So 2 1/4. 1, 2, a little tiny more, and let's mix it a little. So how do you know if the yeast is good? Well, one way to know is that after a few minutes, it's going to foam up. This will have foam. So in the meanwhile, let's grab 3 cups here of flour. What we're going to do is going to make a little crater here. Let's call it a crater. And that's where our liquid is going to go. This thing also will need some salt, so might as well put it now. Just a pinch of salt. think the yeast are bubbling, but we'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, so look how nice the foam is. Sweet. Let's pour it in. And since I need a little bit more, I need another quarter. Use it to kind of clear the bowl. Now for this we're going to use simple wooden stick. Now one thing I forgot is to put the tablespoon of olive. Okay, so let's mix. Really, we're not trying to knead it because for this recipe we just want to get a nice wet dough, and we're going to cover it. And we're going to put it in the fridge overnight, or even outside. And it's going to be perfect. It looks like it's a little dry. So we're going to add a little bit of water. Now the problem is with these types of measurements is that you never know. I mean, the flour that comes from the vendor could be drier than than another batch, and so you never know how much liquid really you will need for this. But since this is a no knead type of recipe or dough, definitely needs a little more. It needs to be very sticky, so add a little more water. And keep on stirring it until it's well. Very much something like this. Nice and sticky. Nice. Yep. Should be kind of wet, but not liquidy. So we will just cover this up. Cover it with saran wrap so it doesn't dry. I'm going to add a little more water. So that's enough for now. What's going to happen at this point is that this is going to go in the fridge, and it's gonna do its thing in the fridge. It will rise and all that stuff. And if you want to leave it outside for 2 hours or so in a room temperature, that's fine too. Really, all this does is just make sure that you know, the moisture doesn't escape. Now, how come Saran wrap doesn't stick to this bowl? Go figure. But anyway, this will go in the fridge. In fact, I'm gonna leave it. Let's leave it here for about half an hour. Come back to it. We're gonna see the difference because the camera's gonna jump. All right, so I'm gonna close it now. Be back in 30. So by the way, I've been getting this flour from Target, and this one is all-purpose unbleached, which is not easy to find unless it's King Arthur's or one of the other big names. But this is like half the price of King Arthur's, and it works beautifully. So I recommend this for your baking. Anyway, we're gonna put this in the fridge, and tomorrow I'm gonna do some pizza. We're gonna cut it up. This will actually make 4 pizzas, so I'm gonna cut it up into 4 tomorrow. We're gonna let the balls rise one more time, and then we're gonna flatten it, roll it, and put the toppings and all that stuff and put it on the grill. And the way I put it on the grill is something to be seen. So yeah. All right, so we'll jump to that tomorrow. So okay, we're now at the next day. It's been over 15 hours, and look at this. Look at that. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Anyway, I'm gonna prepare the topping at this moment, and what we're gonna have on this pizza is a few garlic cloves, sliced. I'm gonna have them. Maybe sliced them. We'll see. Well, right before I put them on, I'm gonna chop them up to a few pieces. I don't want the smell to get all over here. Once you chop them, it starts this chemical reaction. Don't ask. We'll get a nice onion. I don't know if you knew this, but most of the nutrients are as closest to the edge, the outer layer of the onion. So I try not to take too much, but sometimes it's not the best, looking pieces. So I'm just gonna make some rings here. Break them up. We need to have a really well hard surface area. And the reason is because this is a really wet dough. So I'm just going to pull. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just pry it out. And this really smells nice. Turn it over. Okay, at this moment we want to kind of cut it into 4 pieces because this is good enough for 4 pizzas. So 1, 3 cuts. Now we're gonna remove all the air. And this is very pliable. You can tell that it's nicely created all the gluten. And what we're going to do is we're going to make these nice balls. How about we take a little bit of olive oil and put it on there. And we'll just put it around here, just so they don't stick again now that we have them as balls. And we're going to put one here, and I'm going to work on the next one. I'm going to let it sit for about half an hour. Another reason is I just took it out of the fridge. We really want to get it to room temperature. Second, we want to get it to rise again. And I'm just gonna go grab saran wrap, and we're gonna be good. And by the way, we're gonna do this on the grill, and you should have baking stone. And if you don't have one, get one. It's a really good investment. It really makes baking or grilling dough much easier and with nicer results. Right before we know we're about, we need also the grill to be really warm. So we need it to start heating up full blast about 30 minutes before we put the pizza in.